You ever get that knot in your stomach when you think about money? All the confusing terms, the options, it just feels like, I don't know, too much sometimes. Or maybe you just want to get a handle on things without, feeling like you have to give up everything fun. If that sounds like you, well, you're definitely not alone. And that's exactly why today we're diving deep into a book that honestly cuts through all that noise, Scott Pape's The Barefoot Investor.
Mm.
So our plan today, let's unpack this thing, pull out the really practical, stress-free ways Pape suggests for managing money, getting rid of debt, building some wealth for the future, and importantly, zero confusing finance speak. We want you walking away feeling like, okay, I can actually do this.
Yeah, and I think what really hits home about Pape's approach, why it works for so many, is that he makes simplicity feel powerful. It's almost like sticking it to the complexity the finance industry sometimes throws at us. It makes financial freedom feel, well, actually achievable. Doesn't matter where you're starting from.
Right. So if the money world is this dense jungle, Pape's handing us a pretty sharp machete. What's the first thing he says? The core of this whole barefoot idea.
Well, essentially, he throws out the old idea of painful budgeting. His main point is that getting good with money doesn't need to be complicated. Keep it simple. Automate things. Focus on paying off debt. Invest steadily. But, and this is really key, do it all while still actually enjoying your life now. It's not about, living like a monk. It's about making your money serve your life.
That balance, yeah. That feels different because usually you hear manage your money and you picture spreadsheets and saying no to everything.
Exactly. Pape really tries to build in that enjoyment factor so you don't get that feeling of deprivation that just makes people give up.
Okay, so one of the big practical tools he uses is this bucket system. Sounds simple. Giving your money jobs, basically.
That's a great way to put it. Think of it like having, say, 4 main bank accounts, each with one job. Super clear. So first up is the blow bucket. About 60% of your income goes here. This is for your everyday stuff: rent, mortgage, food, bills, keeping the lights on.
Okay, the essentials.
Then, and this one's absolutely vital, the mojo bucket. This isn't just savings, it's your safety net. Your emergency fund for when life throws you a curveball.
Like the car breaking down.
Exactly. Or a medical bill, or losing your job. It's that buffer. Next is the grow bucket. This is all about the long game. Investing for the future, think retirement accounts, superannuation, and he's big on low-cost index funds.
Right, building wealth slowly.
And finally, the one everyone loves, the smile bucket, usually about 10%. This is purely for fun, vacations, eating out, hobbies, whatever makes you happy.
I like that. It gives you structure, but also permission to live a little.
Totally. It stops you feeling like a financial martyr. You know where your money is going, but you're not squeezing every last drop of joy out. It makes the whole thing sustainable.
Okay, let's talk debt, because that's a huge one for so many people. Pape has this thing called the debt domino strategy. Sounds kind of powerful. What's the idea?
Yeah, it's clever. He wants to turn paying off debt from this awful grinding chore into something that feels like winning. So you list all your debts, smallest balance to largest. Forget the interest rates for a second. Then you attack the smallest debt with everything you've got. Every spare bit of cash goes to killing that one first.
Ah, okay. Get a quick win.
Exactly. Once that smallest one's gone, you take all the money you were paying on it and you add it to the minimum payment of the next smallest debt. So your payment amount snowballs. Each debt you knock over frees up more cash to attack the next one faster, like dominoes.
So it's less about the pure math of interest rates and more about the psychology, that feeling of accomplishment.
Precisely. That psychological boost is massive. It keeps you motivated. It makes this huge, scary thing feel manageable, like a series of steps. And a really crucial bit of advice he hammers home:
No.
Dish the credit cards, use debit. He's really firm on that.
Wow, really? No credit cards at all?
He argues the risk of racking up more debt, the temptation, just isn't worth any minor perks for most people trying to get ahead. Avoid the trap altogether.
Makes sense. And talking about safety nets, the Mojo Fund you mentioned,
Sure.
that emergency buffer, how does he say to build that? It sounds pretty important.
Oh, it's fundamental to his whole plan. He breaks it down. Stage 1, get $2,000 saved up fast, like really fast.
Okay, a mini buffer first.
Yeah, that covers the smaller surprises, the boiler breaking, needing a new tire. It gives you immediate breathing room. Then, stage 2 is building that $2,000 up until it covers 3 to 6 months of your basic living expenses. That's your proper mojo.
And that's for the bigger shocks.
Absolutely. Job loss, a major health issue, something that really disrupts things. That Mojo Fund is what lets you weather the storm without derailing everything or going into debt. It's foundational for peace of mind.
Okay, now for maybe the most controversial bit. He tells people to fire your financial advisor. That sounds pretty bold. What's the thinking there?
It is bold. But his reasoning comes back to simplicity and cost. He basically argues that for most people, the financial industry can make things seem way more complicated than they need to be. And often, advisors or complex products come with high fees that really eat away at your returns over the long run.
So he's saying do it yourself with simple stuff.
Pretty much. Stick to low-fee index funds, keep your retirement savings like superannuation simple and low cost. He believes that approach often beats fancy strategies because you're not losing so much to fees. It's about empowering you to manage the basics yourself.
But are there times when maybe you do need an advisor?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a fair point. Pape's advice is brilliant for the core accumulation things for most people. But, if you have really complex situations like setting up intricate trusts, complex tax planning, maybe managing inherited wealth, professional advice can still be very valuable. But for the average person just building their nest egg, his point is, don't pay high fees for something you can likely manage simply and effectively on your own.
Got it. And following on from that, he talks about retirement savings, like superannuation in Australia, supercharge your super. What does he mean by that? What are the actual steps?
The key things are surprisingly simple. Again, first, if you have multiple retirement accounts floating around from old jobs, consolidate them. Get everything into one single low-fee fund.
Okay, it simplifies things and cuts fees.
Exactly. And second, if you can possibly afford it, contribute a little extra on top of what your employer puts in. Even small amounts add up hugely over time thanks to compounding. And he gives this really stark warning about fees. High fees, he says, can eat into retirement savings massively.
Massively.
Oh, yeah. We're talking potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars difference by the time you retire, just from seemingly small percentage differences in fees year after year. It's staggering. So keeping fees low is absolutely critical for your future self.
Wow. Okay, now buying a home, often the biggest purchase ever. Pape has advice here too, right? Keeping it a foundation, not a burden.
Yeah, he's very practical about it. He really pushes people not to borrow the absolute maximum the bank offers them.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Precisely. His guidelines are, aim for at least a 20% deposit if you can, to avoid extra mortgage insurance costs and start with good equity. And critically, keep your mortgage payments manageable, ideally under 30% of your pre-tax income.
So you still have money left over for, life and the other buckets.
Exactly. It's about making sure the house fits into your overall financial plan and supports your freedom, rather than becoming this huge weight that stresses you out and prevents you from doing anything else. Smart, sustainable homeownership.
So let's fast forward. Debts are gone. The Mojo Fund is full. Savings are automated into the buckets. What's the end game? What's the big picture Pape paints? It feels like it's more than just having a pile of cash.
Oh, definitely. Once those foundations are solid, you just keep doing what works. Keep investing steadily in those low-fee funds and your retirement accounts. Automation keeps it going. But yeah, the focus shifts. Pape argues the real purpose of money isn't just accumulating stuff. It's about creating freedom, choices, living life on your own terms, having the financial security to maybe change careers, travel, spend more time with family, whatever freedom means to you. And then he adds something quite profound at the end, the principle of giving generously. Once you're financially secure, helping others isn't just a nice thing to do. He frames it as sort of the ultimate expression of having achieved that freedom.
Using your security to make a difference.
Yeah. It cements that your wealth has a purpose beyond just yourself. It's about impact and meaning, not just accumulation.
So when you boil it all down, the Barefoot Investor really makes financial success seem, simple, achievable. Automate, manage debt smartly, invest steadily, and crucially, don't forget to actually live your life.
Absolutely. I think the biggest takeaway is just how empowering it is to take control. That clarity, those conscious choices, it brings a kind of peace of mind that's frankly priceless. It turns money from something scary into a tool for building the life you want.
Makes you think, doesn't it? If this barefoot idea, this simplicity, this clear purpose can de-stress something as messy as money, where else in life could that same mindset work a bit more freedom, maybe a bit more joy, something to chew on?